Kennedy, you're very welcome, and thank you for joining us this morning. A bit like Jasmine, I was going to ask you, all this talk about longevity. Do you have a kind of a secret stash of a fountain of youth somewhere that you could share with us?
Well, I did just celebrate my 59th birthday last week.
Are you really?
No, actually, I turned 39.
What's your metabolic age? Mine is 38, so...
My metabolic age, I think, is about 27 last time I had checked.
Wow. Okay.
But anyways, no, so...
Super. Well, listen, a bit like Jasmine, if you could maybe just explain to us what you guys do, why you do it, and how you came about actually getting involved in this.
Okay, so shout out to my sister CEO, Jasmine. The two RUV names are not an accident. We are sister and partner companies. We do work together. RUV Bio is a biotech company. We have a three-pronged approach to what we're doing. Number one is we are creating a biomedical research platform. Essentially, what will be a AI biologist research assistant that researchers can use in the lab, whether it's a university lab, a biotech, a pharma company. In-house, we will use that platform to develop longevity therapeutics with our proprietary data sets, including our long-lived animal models, which include the famous Methuselah flies that some people have heard of. And then we will also be using that to develop longevity therapeutics, a suite of science-backed supplements eventually, and then also partnering with pharma companies to go into drug discovery with that as well. Okay. And then how I got into this field in the first place, I went to University of California, Irvine, thinking I was going to be a physician, like most people who are interested in biology. And I joined a research lab, and that happened to be the lab of Michael Rose at UC Irvine. And so he kind of took me under his wing and became my mentor, and that's where I discovered longevity research. And I just instantly fell in love with it. I kind of clicked in my brain that, it wasn't just about longevity. What it is really is about preventative medicine. And what you said before, it's about like healthcare. It's not sick care. And that just really spoke to me as like a way to, enhance people's lives and get out in front of these diseases. And the fact that 90% of chronic diseases that people suffer from today are caused by the aging process, and if we can slow that down or stop it, and how much suffering we can actually alleviate in the world, just really spoke to me, and I kind of decided to make it my life's mission. And so coming out of UC Irvine, I initially co-founded a biotech company called Genescient. I was their founding lab director, and we actually took the Methuselah flies that were developed by Dr. Rose starting in 1980, and we're gleaning insights from their unique genomics. And then Genescient ended up getting swept under the umbrella of Singularity Net and is now RUV Bio. So here I am.
Wow, and have you flown in from the States?
I have.
When did you land?
Yesterday at 2:00.
Okay, well, I reckon either you just have an inherent energy. I think you can see an awful lot of passion and enthusiasm from her face. So your metabolic age is clearly reflected in your passion and your energy. So welcome to Ireland, and I hope the jet lag doesn't hit you tomorrow too much. How does RUV Bio manage to integrate three things? The long-lived animal models, the crowdsourced human data, and also then the AI to really develop these products to allow effective health span optimization.
Right. So our AI architecture is built with our partners Singularity Net, and then our crowdsourced data comes from our partners RUV AI. So we use the OpenCog Hyperon architecture, and part of that is the bioatom space, which is a knowledge metagraph. So knowledge metagraph is a system where you can use all different kinds of AI tools that work together. It's kind of it's an AI system that works a lot more like a human brain, whereas if there's like a limited data set, or if there's something that a certain AI tool has trouble with, another one can kind of fill in the gaps and produce a viable answer. It's also an AI system that actually learns from itself and can actually reason. And so that is the AI system that we are building our research platform on. And we are crowdsourcing human data from our sister company, the RUV AI app, that people choose to contribute their data to. Jasmine spoke earlier about the people who are using the app and their data being stored on the blockchain. Well, that data, the people who choose to contribute their data to our research on the bio side, if that data is used in the creation of a product that ends up making a bunch of money or whatever, those people can get compensated for the use of their data. And so we are also contributing to that democratization of participation in biomedical research as well. And so all that data, and with the long-lived animal models that we use, the Methuselah flies, and then some other publicly available human data sets, and then some data sets that we are acquiring from various partnerships, all get integrated in this neurosymbolic AI system that we're building with our partners at Singularity Net, and it's we're going to be able to glean insights that humans otherwise wouldn't be able to see.
Super. And can I ask you, because there's lots of different types of AI.
Right.
There's, at the core, there's deep learning, then there's machine learning, then there's AI, and then there's different types. There's like generative AI, which we're all familiar with, like the likes of ChatGPT.
Right.
We've gone from 3.5 to 4. We're now 4.0, which is multimodal and phenomenal. And then maybe later on this summer, we might be having 5, which would be like an explosion of what's already incredible. What type of AI are you using, and have you developed it yourselves, or are you using ChatGPT equivalents?
Right. So the OpenCog Hyperon neurosymbolic AI system uses all of those components.
Everything?
Yes. Okay. So they all work together in tandem.
And growing at that rate.
Yes,
that
yes, and it's built, and Singularity Net's building it from the ground up using its own programming language, MetaType Talk, which is a novel programming language. And what's unique about that is it actually can rewrite its own source code. So if there's a mistake in the code, it actually can learn from it and rewrite that code. And so it's kind of a really unique thing. It's odd.
And is the word singularity in that company you refer to, is it there for a particular reason? Because singularity implies independent, autonomous AI being.
Well, yeah.
So because, in radiology, it is not there to replace us, it's certainly yet, but it's there to augment us. It's kind of like augmented intelligence rather than artificial intelligence for us. What is it in your world?
Right. So are
humans in the loop much?
Right. Oh yeah. Well, humans will always still be in the loop.
But are you augmenting human understanding and decisions, or ultimately is the singularity saying actually it's going to just look after it all?
Oh no, humans will still be in the loop, but with the singularity, we'll have better understanding of, in our realm at least, biomedical research. The way that I see it is kind of bridging that translational valley of death when we talk about as researchers going from the lab to the clinic, how high that failure rate is. If you have like a singularity where you can shorten that, or even reduce that failure rate by even 10% or whatever, to me that would be a significant singularity in biomedical research.
Sure.
Our chief AI scientist, Dr. Ben Gertzel, will be speaking Saturday morning, I believe, and so and he's the CEO also of Singularity Net, and so he'll be talking more about what we're doing.
So, like, potentially, I mentioned GPT-5 is coming out this year, and it's going to be, if GPT-4o, which is this size, which is enormous, it's going to be like this size. So, what do you guys see as happening in the next year, let alone 5 years?
Oh man, that's a hard prediction to make.
But you must be talking around the coffee or the water cooler. Like, where are we going, guys? Like, this is off the charts.
I mean, in the next year, I mean, just for me, what I hope to see as far as biomedical, I mean, I hope to see something significant happen in longevity research. Like, I hope to see something, a real, like, actual breakthrough in something that guides us on that path. And what we've found at RUV Bio so far with our long-lived animal models and some of the research I'll actually be talking about on Sunday is we've actually found some transcription factors in the long-lived Methuselah flies that are significant, that can be applied to humans, that support some other aging theories that João Pedro de Magalhães has proposed as aging as a software design flaw, which we have found is pretty significant and encouraging. So using that integrated with our advanced AI, I think, to me, if we can get something in a year's time that leads to a significant therapeutic, or even like a clue towards a significant therapeutic, to me, like, I mean, that would be really exciting, and I'd be ecstatic. So
Sure.
Yeah.
So, like, I think we've all got to remember in healthcare, especially when we're doing something novel, ultimately it's all about the outcome. It's not about a shiny new toy.
Right.
And for us, it's about patients, and you can't have a worse outcome. You've got to have a better outcome. So there's kind of three components to what a clinician, say like myself. The three-stage process is data, which is at the core of everything, and now data is exploding. It's like the volume and velocity of it. Then you've actually got the data whereby you've then got to make a decision. And you have a situation now where we're kind of facing decision fatigue, decision overload, and we need it to be augmented and assisted. Because then the decision that you make in your office, or indeed that the patient makes, ultimately has to change the outcome in a positive way. So there's a lot of important steps there, and ultimately we've got to focus on what's the end point here. It's a bit like the RCPI. We're not focusing on the paddy and the pint. We're focusing on people and their outcomes. I suppose there's a couple of things. Data at its core is the currency of how you deal with patients. It's their lifeblood. How do you ensure that the data is clean, safe, and not biased? Do you worry about this all the time? Is there legacy issues that are kind of locked in that are tainting the water? Or can you clean it up going forward?
Well, that is bias in biomedical data is something that we constantly talk about at RUV Bio and RUV AI, and that is something that we do worry about. And I mean, obviously, we've gotten to a point where it's 2024, and we've found that pulse oximeters don't work on people with dark skin. Like, how do we get to that point? It's because most of the data that's out there is from people who are white European descent. I think that's something that that's a problem that actually AI can actually help us solve. And through mechanisms such as crowdsourcing human data, as Jasmine mentioned, there's beta testers for the app, thousands of beta testers all over the globe. And that's something that we can use to help kind of alleviate some of that bias as well. And going into things like precision medicine, which is an area that I see AI as helping a lot, because you can have, you can run simulations on N of 1 studies, because the paradox of precision medicine is that in order to understand one person really well, you have to understand a lot of people really well. And so you can do that by crowdsourcing human data. You can run simulations on N of 1 studies, clinical trials on like a single person, where you can have synthetic data, and ensuring data quality is obviously really important. And so we do that at RUV Bio by constantly monitoring our data sources, where they're coming from. In our platform, we are constantly refining our AI algorithms. We are receiving feedback from potential users of the platform, seeing if it's something that would be viable for use in a research setting, in a biomedical research setting, for appropriate outputs that would be research that they could feel confident carrying through, submitting to a regulatory body for like investigative new drug purposes. So.
And from a business perspective, if you think of the difference between the United States versus Europe, in the United States, it's much more, I guess, dynamic and innovative potential because it's less regulated. Now, we have had Joe Biden's recent executive AI document trying to give some guidelines, but it's not regulation. In Europe, we've just this year had the EU AI Act, which is very significant legislation that will actually come into clear effect in healthcare in 2 years' time. And it has an impact on two sets of people, the people who create the AI solutions and those that use the AI solutions, like, say, me in a hospital. So within 2 years' time, it's essential, if you want to operate within Europe, leave America aside, that if you're either creating it or using it, you have to be EU AI compliant. Mm-hmm. Is that something that's on your agenda of actually what's important?
Yes, and that we are developing our AI system with an eye on compliance. One of the things that we are building into our research platform is AI that is explainable. So unlike ChatGPT that kind of just spits out an answer if you ask it a question, our platform generates what's called a proof tree, where it actually shows you exactly how it got from point A to
Very
point
good.
B, which is something that...
So it's like a ledger.
Yes,
really.
exactly, which is something that we feel that will make researchers more comfortable in using the tool, because it will give them... Yes, so when they cite our AI tool that they're using in their research, and they go to the FDA or the European Medicine Union to file for those investigative new drug or clinical trials or whatever, they have this ledger of actual proof tree. Not only have they used AI, but it's explainable AI.
Brilliant. So you're ahead.
We're
You've
building
got
that into
as
the
the fella
system.
says, you've got it covered.
Yes.
But not everybody does.
Right.
And I think that's going to be a real important thing. What are the next big milestones, do you think, for RUV Bio?
Our next big milestone is rolling out kind of an alpha version of our research platform. We have some letters of intent with a couple of partners that are ready to use our platform in the next 9 to 12 months for their own research. A couple of partnerships at some university labs and some smaller biotech companies that we're talking to, such as Arian Biosciences, which is studying early detection for lung cancer screenings, Keck Medicine at USC, and Tract Biosciences. And so that's really exciting. So we'll get some actual user feedback for our platform that we can integrate into later versions, see how it actually operates out in the wild, see how researchers actually like it, how it can enhance their research, how it can aid in their guidance of their work.
Sure.
So that's the next big milestone, and then in-house we have some more studies we want to do using the Methuselah flies that I will talk about again on Sunday. Some life point transcriptome analyses, see how the actual gene expression changes in our long-lived flies throughout their life. So.
You talked about your cis, the other RUV,
Yeah.
but you've obviously got to collaborate with many people within a complex ecosystem. Can you describe other organizations or institutions that you collaborate with?
Yeah, so collaboration is really important in this space, and one thing I've always really enjoyed about being in the longevity industry, because I've been around for close to 20 years now, which is really awesome. It's been great to watch this space grow from being kind of fringe to being real mainstream science. It's been really exciting. Sure. So different collaborations. I mentioned the one with Tract Biosciences, which is a really exciting collaboration I'm really excited about. They have an AI tracking system for laboratory animals, and we're actually using their cages that are equipped with a camera to do some of our fly studies, where they actually watch the flies fly. And that company's led by Michael Peter, which is one of Morton, who's speaking later Saturday, one of his former PhD students. And these collaborations are just really important, because in the longevity space, we all have this goal of solving aging, and it's not like the first one who solves aging wins. It's we all win. We're all working towards this common goal. This is going to be a multifaceted problem that's going to require a lot of solutions, and there's enough solutions that we all can work on together. And so that's something I've always really enjoyed about the space. There's lots of people in this room here who are speaking later who have paved this road that I am now traveling on. So
super. And just in 1 minute, so we can land this Founders Forum, how do you think the impact of RUV Bio what impact will it have on the future of longevity and healthcare globally?
Well, my hope is that RUV Bio can help get real medicines into the clinic that can have real life-changing and disease mitigating effects for people who are already suffering from aging-related diseases, and then also turn that eye towards actually preventing these aging-related diseases to begin with. My mission in life has always been, as you said earlier, healthcare, not sick care. I mean, we have this situation where lifespans are getting longer, but health span is getting shorter, and that's just not right. So
yeah, what is it, like 70% of chronic disease is lifestyle related?
Right. And it's something that can be easily solved, and that's something that I've made my life's mission, and I want people to live healthier lives. So.
Super. Well, listen, I want to thank you and your sis Jasmine for incredible passion, grit, determination, intelligence, creativity, and your communication skills and your energy. So thank you so much, Kennedy, for being with us today. A round of applause.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. That was tremendous. Thank you.